Lastly, I ain't worried because God promised he'll redeem the groans. God promised he'll redeem the groans. Look at verse 23. He says, and not only this, but also we ourselves, having the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting eagerly for our adoption as sons, the redemption of our body. God promised that I'll redeem even the groans. You know, the beauty of being in Atlanta, the birthplace of the civil rights movement, there's something really special about some of the old school churches that are around us. Because many of them have history that date back to the civil rights movement. The SCLC, when they took our kids on the Freedom Trail, they visited churches of pastors that led the movement. They talked to people that were a part of the movement, people that experienced segregation, experienced Jim Crow, experienced all of the pains of that era. But when you go visit some of these old school churches, many of them are dying or dead. Many are. There are some you'll go in and you'll see remnants of yesterday. And one thing that I actually used to be very confused about in the old school church is a deacon's devotion. Because they would just groan and moan and groan. And I say, Mom, what are they talking about? But now I look back and I think about some of those groans. They would say things like, guide me over, thy great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. Guide me over, great Jehovah. And then somebody would say, pray to heaven, feed me till I want no more. Bread of heaven. And then one of those deacons will step up and say, I am weak, but thou art mighty. Hold me with thy powerful hand. I am weak, but thou art mighty. Hold me with thy powerful hand. And then all of a sudden, those deacons would just start moaning, ooh, 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 ooh. And you come in service and those men would just be moaning, groaning before God. And I realized something. They experienced a despair that we haven't quite experienced. I've heard my father and mother tell stories of we've picked cotton and there were places and times where we ate at different water fountains and had to go to the back when other people were being served in the front. My dad tells a story of him having this brand new car and driving to the country and the police pulls him over and pulls out all of his stuff and says, hey, what are you doing with this sort of car? He said, well, sir, I work in Atlanta and I'm headed back home to Lincolnton and I'm just trying to get home. So after he threw all his stuff out, he just drove off and say, you be good, and left. When those deacons would groan, it was from a place of pain. It was from a place of, God, guide us over. Guide us over. Feed us, oh God. I am weak, but thou art mighty. Hold me with your powerful hand. And they would groan and they would moan. Oh, but this passage, it says, one day your groans are going to be over. One day the moans are going to be done. One day there's going to be no more despair. Why? Because God will satisfy the moans and groans of this world. No, we don't moan and groan about segregation and stuff like that no more, but we still moan about cancer. We moan about tumors. We moan about the loss of aunties, the loss of cousins, the loss of uncles. We groan. We cry out to God. But God says, one day those moans are going to be done with. One day those groans are going to be done with. You got the promises of God. I ain't worried. I ain't worried. Why? Because I got the promises of Jesus Christ.